All right, good morning, everybody. Do me a favor and silence your cell phones or radios. Keep side comments to a minimum. We're here for our operational briefing for day shift, October 10th. We'll start out with the current situation with Clint Gould.
Morning. So last night was a really good shift. They got a lot of good work done. They actually worked from the 05-80 break right at the where Division Papa and November meet. Worked all the way up towards Vermilion Camp. Patrolled, mopped up, no issues. Fire stayed within current lines that we have out there, and no further movement. End of report.
Thanks, Clint. A reminder, we are going to keep taking a pause for 5 seconds in between each speaker to allow the folks in Spike Camp, and if they have any medical emergency or any emergency up there, to break in on radio briefing. With that, let's review the incident management objectives real quick. We did get quite a few resources in last night, and would like to share them with them. Ensure firefighter and public safety by using strategies and tactics that mitigate known and anticipated hazards while following COVID-19 mitigations. Minimize the threat to private property, communities, businesses, and critical infrastructures. Maintain and enhance relationships with representative agencies, stakeholders, local landowners, and the general public. Minimize the cost of the incident by employing tactics that have the highest probability of success while minimizing firefighter exposure. Implement suppression repair plan through close coordination with agency resource advisors to reduce the impact to natural and cultural resources and to reduce excessive erosion. With that, I'm going to bring up the fire weather forecaster and incident meteorologist, John Pendergast.
Good chilly morning, everybody. Took a look at some of the temperatures before coming in here, and we have freezing at some of the lower drainage areas at the elevation. Some of you folks may see some frost, actually, in some of the hollows up there at elevation this morning. You hear sometimes the word target of opportunity. Well, the weather guy gets to use that word also, and I'm going to use that word today. The weather is going to give us targets of opportunity for your tactics and decision-making out there today. If you've been waiting for a day where we are expecting higher humidity, today's the day. With the disturbance now spreading on shore, there's clouds moving into northern and central California as well as our area today. The rainfall is confined, just looking at radar, it's north of Redding. They're getting some measured rain actually in the northern part of California. That is going to miss us. However, that target of opportunity as far as higher humidity and cooler temperatures and cloud cover are going to be with us today. The cloud cover is going to combine with the moisture to help scour out some of that smoke. So air ops will have a little bit more of a favorable day than previous days for your planning purposes. Also, if you're planning on doing any operations near the fire area, I'm still expecting humidities to fall into that 30 to 35 degree range during the course of the day at the elevation where the fire is active. So combining higher humidity, smoke clearing out a little bit better today than previous days, and the cooler temperatures, keep all that in mind for what operations you want to do today. One thing you want to also keep in mind is the winds are going to be more westerly today, and they're actually going to shift out of the northwest towards the end of today's operational period. So keep that in mind, starting out with west wind, and then coming around more to the northwest for your general wind direction. Have a safe day out there.
All right, thanks, John. Our fire behavior analyst is actually working remotely until Monday, so please refer to your fire behavior forecast in your IAP for the fire behavior. With that, I'm going to bring up Clint Gould with operational assignments.
Good morning again. So we'll start on the north end of the fire and division. Actually, I'll give you who our operations are out in the field. We've got Jeff Henson as field ops. And then we've got branch 20 of Jack Froggett. And branch 25/29 is Matt Dunham. So up on the north end of the fire in Division Mike, they're going to continue. We've got Naylor and Mitchison. We're going to continue with a direct line construction from Warm Creek up by Vermilion Camp to China Camp. See what we can do to get that line put in along the edge, tie it back into Cold Black out in the South Fork of the San Joaquin. Coming a little bit further east into November, we got Marquez and Kinney as the divisions. They're also going to be looking at doing a direct line south and east of the 80 road where it splits and comes up to be able to tie that in out near Florence Lake. Coming around into Papa, into the Horseshoe, we got Carson Hall and Dehart. They're going to continue to patrol the structures also down to just to the north of Huntington Lake and doing direct line construction from the 05 split out towards Sample Meadow, which is roughly almost a third of the way into the Horseshoe. Division Romeo is Valaquez. They're going to continue to patrol and start a heavy backhaul of a hose and miscellaneous supplies out in the area. Dropping down into branch 2529, division change in SUV. We got Haragi is going to be SUV. They're going to continue to patrol and mop up within the division, also doing backhaul of any supplies and excess equipment that they find. Division Whiskey X-Ray Zulu. The new division for that one is Todd Mack due to Haragi switching divisions. They're going to continue to patrol and mop up within the division, also removing excess backhaul. Suppression repair is still Clint Wade, and like I said, they're going to be doing repair on all dozer lines and roads that they can within the division. And that's the end of the report.
Yeah, thanks, Clint. All right, well, for air operations, we'll bring up Brian Sexton.
Morning, everyone. For your aircraft lineup for today, we have 14 helicopters available here out of Fresno. We have Helicopter 507 available for intelligence products and air attack, and then we have Air Attack 15 for aerial supervision that'll get up first thing. On the south zone, out of Aubrey Helibase, we have 6 helicopters. We have 2 Type 1s, 3 Type 2s, and 1 Type 3. We also have Helco available out of Aubrey. Out of the north zone, at Mariposa Helibase, we have 3 Type 1s, 2 Type 2s, and 2 Type 3s available. And a reminder, out of Visalia, we're sharing with the Sequoia Complex, we have Helicopter 407 available for medevac. It's a hoist, a 24-hour capable helicopter. Have a safe shift. Thank you.
All right, for safety, Nick Bianchini.
Good morning, everyone. Nick Bianchini. I'll be the safety trainee for the incident. And we've been out here for, this fire's 5 weeks going on now. It's been a long season. Some of you might be on your second tour here, maybe even your third getting into it. So long season. One of the things you won't ever hear me say, complacent. Don't be complacent. You're all professionals out there. And I know that no one's going out saying, this is no big deal, it's just another day. What I am looking for is to remain vigilant, right? And I think that's the key word that I like to instill for the rest of this incident. When we think about vigilance, I think about when I was young, trying to cut big trees, and I used to dive in there and try and cut the biggest tree out there, right? And you stand up there and you lay the saw in, you try and money that thing right where you want it. Well, I had a mentor that said, you're diving right into this big tree. That's easy. But you got to go outside in, inside out, right? So take your time to look from the outside. So I'm going to hit 3 key quick points here on that philosophy of outside in, inside out. And that's driving, number 1. So outside, working your way in, do your walk around. Check your trucks, check your vehicles, make sure everything's good. Check under the hood. For the equipment operators, check your brakes, your slack adjusters, crawl underneath, make sure everything's in good working order. And when you're thinking about the big picture coming out, think about the hills, your route. If you got a long, steep grade, think about that. So in trees, we're talking about going direct on the incident. So take in the big picture. What's our objective? What are we doing? as we get in there, in the inside part, on the hot shot crew, there was always that don't prairie dog. Keep your head down and just dig dirt. Well, I need people to prairie dog out there here and there. Have your head on a swivel when you're out. And for the big picture on that, think about your product. What do you got out there? Your plan B. What if something else happens? And then, of course, the final is mentorship and leadership. So there's a lot of strong firefighters out there with a lot of knowledge. So from the outside, working your way in, you're gathering your information for your folks, developing their strengths and weaknesses, identifying those, and then we're building them up, right? And so that's the important part. And I challenge you folks out there with to have that integrity to choose the hard right over the easy wrong. And that means you got to remain vigilant. So with that, go out there, have a safe shift. Thanks.
Thanks, Nick. For medical, bring up Blaine Haywood.
Good morning. Just real quick, on the front of your IEP, there is a QR code for a daily self-assessment for your COVID screening. If you could take a minute, it's less than a minute, please just fill this out for us. It helps us keep track of the COVID in the camp. Also, for Division M, as in Mary, in addition to your 204, we will be sending out a line paramedic, Rodriguez, and EMT Kreider. So that's for Division M as in Mary. Thanks. Have a safe shift.
All right, thanks, Blaine. For liaison, Dave Winokur.
Good morning. As you're making your way out on the line today, I'd ask you to take a look at page 24 of your IEP, Creek Fire Area Activities of Interest. We have significant cattle gathering and transport operations taking place inside and through the fire area, as well as a very large amount of utility work, both maintenance, repair, and suppression repair in areas where fire has passed through. As you keep an eye as those folks are going to be operating in your area, and there will be significantly more utility folks in some portions of the fire than fire folks. So there's going to have to be some awareness, and just keep an eye out for those folks on the road. And then lastly, we'll see a significant influx of permittees moving up to the cabin areas to winterize cabins, remove boats, and collect vehicles and other things that they left when they evacuated during the fire. Just ask you to keep your heads up and be aware of those folks operating in and around your areas. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave. All right, for logistics, they have nothing but finance. Please turn in your times. And for training, our training specialist is working remotely, so please see your IAP and make sure that you fill out your forms virtually. There's a QR code in there. And please check in with our training specialist for both trainers and trainee. And with that, we'll have closing comments with our Deputy IC, Steve Watkins.
Well, good morning, everyone. Nice to be up here and talk to you this morning. Just a couple things. A lot of information was given out this morning, right? I want to redirect your eyes to objective number 1, especially the bottom part of that, COVID-19. This team has zero tolerance about COVID-19. We take the mitigation protocols very seriously, not just for you, but most importantly for your loved ones at home. Because when you leave this instance, we want to make sure you're safe and sound going home to protect those people, because this is a risk, and we're trying to do what we can to minimize the exposure to you and your loved ones at home. Second thing, there's a lot of information that was given out this morning, right? IMED gave out some positive information about the weather, operations. We've got some crews coming in. We saw some come in last night. So we're able to hold that staffing with the crews we need to go out there to achieve the objective on the ground. Also, we heard some population stuff going out there, permittees coming in to take care of winterizing some of their property, get their boats out of the area, some of the recreation. And then we also got some cattle being moved from the high country area up here by Vermilion So what's that mean to me? Okay, and we talked about some safety stuff. All that means to me is we need to really pay attention about Operation Tempo today. Got a lot of moving parts going on today, and rightfully so, right? This thing's been going on for 5 weeks. 5 weeks is a long time. And our job today is start the next phase of bringing normalcy from chaos. This community's out here have been dealing with this for 5 weeks. We've only been here for a couple days, but I guarantee we've all been busy this summer. All right, so let's take a moment this morning. Let's understand the Operation Tempo. Let's engage appropriately. Let's make sure everyone understands what's going on. And then most importantly, before we do that, let's have safety on our mind. If we do that, we'll have a very productive, safe day. And with that, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thanks, Steve. All right, for breakouts, please, at each camp, please seek out your division group supervisors for breakout. Reminder that we do have a 10 o'clock cooperators meeting. With that, have a safe shift. We'll see you guys off the line this evening. Have a great day. Turn your cell phones and radios back on.